Comrades, greetings and welcome back to Realpolitiks. This is episode 14 and I am Admiral Andre, and we barely survived the 3 simultaneous wars in the last episode, but here we are, we made it. So now what? Now we have to start rebuilding and picking up the pieces. We were very lucky in the sense that we did not lose our core territory, but we were very close to doing that. So the road to rebuilding shouldn't be that difficult, but one of the big problems that we have to deal with is our terrible relations in the world. This should improve over time, but I want to help it along, especially in terms of our stock exchange members here. So we have to start with the US. That's the most important relationship here, and it's the one that we absolutely cannot lose. And you can see we're currently only getting 58 from the US, whereas before in the good times we got over 200. So relationship really does have a very big impact on the actual contribution that each member makes. Then we'll go to the next one, which is the UK and so on, so that we can just get back to where we were. You see, we're only having 12% of the world's stock exchange at the moment. And for me, that really is not good enough. So, to that, let's run the clock and just start getting some money, because we can do nothing without money. We are already busy with the heavy war loss reconstruction, because this is just permanently active here. It's probably better to turn it off when we're not in a war. And the same actually goes for the fight unemployment, because right now we still have, if I'm not mistaken, let's just have a look here, and somebody just dropped a nuke and I'm betting it was the US. But as you can see, we still have 0 unemployment. So this extra investment that we're making here of 80 per turn is not really necessary anymore. We should turn it off, so that's what I'm going to do. And if the unemployment situation begins to rise again, we can reactivate it. So I'm happy to just get the money for now. So what happened? The US dropped a failed nuclear attack on the Mexican army, but interesting, so it didn't have the desired effect. It looks like the US is winning a little bit, and that's exactly what I expected. So if we look at the previous 2 wars, so I am afraid for the Mexicans nothing is going to happen for them. Anti-democratic cooperation in defense against imperialism, I just love that. Totalitarian and authoritarian countries will cooperate economically over their personal differences. This treaty was officially ratified by the UN Council, so this is the same one that failed to pass previously, but this time it actually made it. So we, as an authoritarian country, will also get these benefits, so more GDP growth, less unhappiness, and more natural resources. So I'm happy with this. I guess, how do we get more natural resources? It must be through cooperation with other countries and streamlining our operations and things like that. So that's fantastic. Definitely not going to say no to that. And Palestine declared bankruptcy as well for the 2nd time. Our AA regiments are now finished, so let's pick something else. We've only got a little bit of money, so that will hamper us a bit. Let's see, is there anything that we can get that will help our economy recover? I think that is very important, because right now in terms of the military, you will notice these things are incredibly expensive. 10,000, 10,000 and so on. So it just gets more and more expensive as you go down the line. That's 12,000. So we need something to help us. Green technologies. Create frames, that's strange, framework maybe, for use of the green energy sources. Okay, it leads to more GDP growth in the future, so I want this, and we get a bit of score right now, and since we lost a bit of score through all of the wars and the UN condemning us and all of that, we really need everything we can get. So I'll do that. I know we don't really have the money, but rather than wait for the money, let's just start with it and then pay that money back as soon as possible. And we have environmental problems. Iceland, wait a minute. Pakistan is bankrupt again. So they're basically never not bankrupt. And they're still fighting the rebels there. Iceland joined the bloc of Canada now. So I guess this is also why there was some friction between Canada and the US, because Canada wants to create its own bloc. Poland joined the bloc of Japan. Now, isn't that interesting? We could say almost 100 years, since it's now 2055, almost 100 years earlier, Germany and Japan were in the same bloc. Now it's Poland. Very strange, but okay. Good luck to you. So we've got a bit of money. The world economy is going backwards again, but it always does that. So let's just continue by paying some debts. There we go. It's at least something. France's status in the stock exchange. I have to pay attention to this. And let's just have a look. How much is it going to cost to improve our relationship with the US? Oh, Central Asia. A mutual cooperation agreement between countries of Central Asia has just been signed. Now, it doesn't say what this mutual cooperation entails, but I assume this is against the Russians, because it involves all of the former Soviet republics here, but Kazakhstan was the instigator. So we'll see what this does in the future, because many of these countries are actually Indian allies still. Let's see, no, not a spy operation. Here, improve relations. It will cost us 1,300, but again, I'll rather take out the loan. Do it. We really need to improve that, because that will lead to a real dollars and cents improvement. So unhappiness, not unemployment, is still quite high in Antarctica. For some reason that remains the most troublesome of our territories. I wonder what is happening here in Victoria Land. It's also impossible to know exactly how many people are living here. Improve. It was a success, so it was worth it. So let's see, what is the result? Still 58, okay. 62, there we go, it just took a moment to happen. So that's a little bit more money for us. GDP size, can't really say. Oh well. So let's just have a look at this now, this relationship improvement, because I don't think this will be a big change. You see, it's still sort of red. Only 43, but at least it's trending towards neutral now, which is better than being hostile. So Brazil, wait, non-aggression between India and Pakistan. Finally, Pakistan and India have signed a 20-year non-aggression pact. This should at least temporarily end hostilities between the two. Well, thank goodness for that. Let's just hope India does the same with China. Improve relations, do it. It's only a 15-point change, but it's better than nothing. Someone conducted spread dissent against our country. We weren't able to catch their agents, and our unhappiness is double now in Victoria Land. Estonia left the bloc of Russia. That's interesting, because they're basically a Russian puppet. Some friction there. Peace treaty expired. Success, improved relations. Okay, let's just have a look here. Pakistan, well, Pakistan basically had to do this non-aggression thing because it's broke. Diplomatic success in Brazil, that's great. Let's see, who else is next on the list? The UK. So now we have to go and fix all the broken relationships again. Tell them how good we are, that we just misunderstood. We were trying to fight terrorists here in Mashriq. So yes, we still have an incredibly high war score. And I think this will still bite us, so they'll probably make one of those "there's a warmonger in this world" things against us. What's that? Riots in India. So India has its own problems. Now that the rebellion has been squashed in Pakistan, it moves over to India. It's just non-stop turmoil here in South Asia. Improve relations with the UK. That's great. So who's next? I think the Chinese probably. Just do this. I know we're spending the money that we should spend on repaying our loans, but this will lead to better income. Already we have 17%, 18% of the world stock exchange again, so it really does make a difference. Peace with Mashriq, that thing I'm not going to take up again for a long time. And at least now if I ever have another event like that terror thing, then I'll know to wait until there's an event. Diplomatic failure. Oh, okay, the Chinese were not buying it. Let's see if they will buy it. Okay, I can't do it right now again. Who's the others? Indonesia. It's a bit cheaper. Mexico and South Korea and France. Mexico, how are you doing? Not well, I see. Maybe they will cease to exist in a few moments. Pakistan is bankrupt again. That country is in absolute shambles. Mexico, you are so losing. Success at least with Indonesia. This is not going to end well. They're just trying to ambush the US. Success with South Korea. They don't look terrible. I mean, 45 versus 58. It doesn't sound that bad, but failure. But I guess it's also down to technology level and all of that. So, who's the next one? France. Aerospace engineering. At least we have one of those military things now. Let's see. So this unlocks the universal air unit, which we will need for the transporter, but the money is too much and I don't want to take out a 12,000 loan right now. So we're going to have to spend this time working on something else that's still going to help us. Combat Tactics Center, that could work. An institution devoted to the development of tactical combat theories, and this will give us more militarism, so let's do that. That's not too expensive, so give us more tactics and planning and all of that. France, I want to talk to you. Listen, this thing in Mashriq, you know, that was just a misunderstanding. Oh, US status has been degraded along with many others. The Mexicans are giving us almost no money, so we might have to dump them soon. The stock exchange in Australia was closed due to unknown spies. Now, isn't that interesting? Well, I can say it wasn't me, although we did try earlier, so maybe I should dump Mexico in exchange for Australia now. Just because after this war they'll suffer even more. Improve in France, great. So yes, I'm gonna dump the Mexicans. Sexual harassment. A highly prominent official of the government has been charged with sexual harassment, and I'll say the same that I said before. But now hold on, what is this now? She's a vital part of the government body, protect her. So is the sexual harasser a woman? It looks like it. Protect her. But there it says fire that idiot and pay compensation to his victims. So this thing doesn't make sense, but you can infer which is the right one by looking at the unhappiness. Obviously we want the unhappiness to go down, so we will fire that idiot. But this doesn't make sense. She's a vital part of the government body, protect her. That sounds like we're talking about the victim here. But if we say protect her, then it seems that that's the good thing to do. I don't know, but we'll fire the criminal, obviously. So yes, Mexico, it's time for you to leave. You're not good enough to be in our club anymore. Sorry. That's very harsh, but you're also on the receiving end of a beating here. Saudi Arabia has tried again, stock exchange, and then it's just all the other statuses. So yes, let's see, what else? What else can we do? We've got a bit of money now. Should we start paying back something? I think we should. There we go. This should be no problem at all. Taxes are still 34. That's still a bit higher than I would like them to be, but right now we really just need to get rid of the debt. Bear market. Our stock market has been in decline for quite some time. Looks like we're facing economic recession. No! Unemployment growth will go up and... no, wait a minute. Unemployment growth is a negative. That would make it seem like unemployment is shrinking. Oh well, we'll see what happens. And minus 50% income from all members. That's like the worst thing they could have done, basically. It still says 89, but I guess at the end of the day we're getting less out. Our income is probably going to start falling now. You can see that. 691, 689, 688 and so on and so on. Panama declared bankruptcy, so we're not the only ones suffering a bear market. But the timing could basically not be worse. So who did we fail against? Indonesia was one. No, can't try again. No, China, that was the thing. Let's see if we can see a difference. Yep, US. Strange, it seems Iran and Mashriq actually like us. How can Mashriq feel 48 against us but the rest of the world doesn't? Hey, it seems like now things are really reversed. So who else? I'm sure there was another failure somewhere. Finally success against China. Must be Brazil. Let's just see. No, they do kind of like us. Oh well, block of Mexico destroyed, so there's peace now. Let's see what the aftermath is. So Mexico didn't lose anything more. I guess it was either an economic penalty or the change of government or something like that. But they are really not doing so well. Interesting. So it was definitely better to get rid of them. The Combat Tactics Center, that went very fast. Let's just see, can I add somebody else now? Not yet, not for quite a while. So, which one of these? Let's see, we've got a small amount of money. Guerrilla Tactics. That's cheap enough. Ambushes, sabotage and other hit-and-run tactics performed behind enemy lines. We could have used this in Mashriq. And of course, this is a good thing against terrorism. Unit attack modifier goes up, but the attack modifier of aircraft goes down, and of the Navy as well. No, I don't want that. HQ computerization, it's just score for us. Let's get that. Let's get the best IT solutions for optimization and increased efficiency at the command level. United Kingdom status has degraded again. Something that requires constant management. Brazil is actually contributing a lot now to our stock exchange. That's interesting. Can I not select us? There we go. Well, strangely enough, these countries, Angola and the Congo, seem to like us no matter what. It's starting to improve. You can see here in the Balkans, it's starting to climb a little bit. Thailand. Yes, I think we're getting out of this deep hatred that the rest of the world had towards us. Of course, the war score, or warmonger level, is going to remain a problem for a long time. But we just have to claw our way back. Our peace treaty has expired. That's fine, I guess. Cuba left Mexico. It's all the things from the war. Nicaragua is bankrupt. What? Hold on, stop. I clicked the thing so fast I didn't even see it. Canada and the US are at war. What is happening in the US? I don't see a scenario where Canada and the US will go to war anytime soon, but okay, this is now a long way into the future already. Canada, I'm sorry, you're gonna get your backside beat up. Oh well. Peace treaty between Russia and Azerbaijan expired. And we stay number 4th, but the gap is quite close now between us and Japan. So I feel this one we will be able to make up again relatively soon. But Germany's one is looking quite far away, and not to say anything of the US, which is double what we've got. It's not so good. That number 1 spot is eluding us. Oh well. It's a long haul. You have to have a long view of history for this. Pakistan is bankrupt again. They should just stay bankrupt until they're finally ready to come out of it, because this is just not news anymore. So the green energy thing has happened. Let's just have a look what the next option is. I mean, if you look at the 3 options, it has to be green. You can't stay in this fossil fuel economy. Not so far into the future. I mean, these things will eventually run out, and the environmental consequences will just be so dire it's not worth pursuing that. Atomic energy also, I don't know. I think it's much better to stick with the green. This one is quite expensive, but I'm willing to take out a loan for it. Use nature-friendly ways of creating electricity, which will actually give us more growth. Not a lot, but it's something. Do it. Let's become pioneers of the green energy field, which we should be in real life anyway, because we've got so much sunshine that could just power us, our whole country. But anyway, our leadership is more interested in building nuclear power plants in the future, but I don't agree with that. Russia is opening a stock exchange. Canada, that was obviously the US. Haiti joined Mexico again, so that didn't put them off. Finally we can add somebody else, so let's see if Australia is willing to talk again. Hey, welcome back. It's a decent amount of money. Let's improve relations with them. So the stock exchange thing has now gone away. I wonder, has the time run out for that penalty yet? Probably not. Would be nice to see that. Almost done with the Australians. Let's see. Hey, success. So that's at least something. Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to improve the French contribution there. Yes, Australia. I lived here for a few years, in Canberra of all places. France, yes, nothing else happening. Let's see, is there anyone who wants something in the world? Probably, there's always somebody. Portugal wants money, but I'm sorry, that I can't help you with. Kyrgyzstan is bankrupt, so still an Indian ally, since they now have to fight the rebels. It's non-stop fighting for India. It's Pakistan, it's China, it's Pakistan again. It's with the internal rebels. It's just a mess. Wonderful. General strike. Many workers today began a 1-month general strike over equal opportunities legislation. Some of the biggest companies have joined it. It could be a big problem for the economy. Repeal the offending laws, raise the minimum wage, and renegotiate. Let's do that. We'll lose 1 militarism, but the consequence of 9 more unhappiness. I don't know. Is it worth it? let's drop some personal control. We can always decrease the unhappiness over time, but I think the first choice is the right one. Netherlands, that looks like education. We would like to start a student exchange program. So let's see, action points, relations and human development for the Netherlands will go up, but ours won't go down. So I'm more than happy to agree to that. We need all the good relations that we can get, and Canada's definitely losing this one. Minus 28. Nope, they are so finished. I wonder if the US will claim some of their territory. Probably. Maybe even the oil producing area. Where was that? Alberta, I think, the tar sands there, but there's no Alberta here, so it will probably be Saskatchewan. At least we're not alone in the warmonger in the world anymore. The US has joined us now. The rebels in India are definitely losing. Just trying to see if there's any other notices from different countries, but it doesn't look like it. Nope, nothing happening in Africa. Oh well, let's speed things up a little. Poland left the Japanese, that's not too much of a surprise. HQ computerization is finished. Jamaica is bankrupt. Come on, man, what's happening there? Cambodia left Japan, so everyone is abandoning Japan right now. Jamaica, come on, how can you be bankrupt? So, what's the next one? Yes, that thing in the military maybe. Drone recon, that sounds nice, but too expensive. Atomic power, how much would that cost us? 4,000. So, actually, I'm going to do this. Just because I think it's time for us to start going down this path as a sort of final insurance that we are never as vulnerable again as we were with Mashriq and Uzbekistan and with our own rebels. So let's do it. Mathematical foundations of nuclear power usage. So of course we claim it's peaceful and all of that. So we'll take some lessons from Iran there. No, it's just for power generation and all that. Don't worry. And strangely enough, South Africa once did have nuclear weapons and then abandoned them in, I think it was around 1993 or 92 or somewhere around there, just before the switch over to democracy. So we're one of the few countries in the world that's voluntarily given up their nuclear arsenal. So I guess now we're rolling that back and going down this path again. So obviously in real life I'm totally against nuclear weapons and all that, but here we can let that fantasy run free. Are we still good here on Mars? Think so. The Russians luckily have never decided to push their luck any further. So the moon, where's Venus? That's the US, so they got Mercury, no, Ceres, that's right. This solar system doesn't make a lot of sense up there. Anyway, something has happened. Computer virus from the Dominican Republic of all places, and we are affected this time. Computers throughout the entire high-tech world were hit by a brilliant malicious virus that came out of some developing country. I love how they describe Dominican Republic as some developing country. Some Dominicans would have a problem with that, I'm sure. Chaos and enormous losses occurred. So US is hit, UK. I guess these are all the developed countries in the world, because obviously they will have the most dependence on the high-tech industry. And it's very flattering at least that we're also on this list. Finland, Greece, Israel, New Zealand, Portugal. Just having a look. Switzerland. Yes, there's no developing countries here, and that's my clock going off. Half an hour is over already. Oh well, that's terrible, especially for us, so let's see, what do we do about it? Is there a fund or something to stop that? Doesn't look like it. Pakistan is bankrupt again. Just keep that notice up there. It's not going to change soon, I guess. Is anyone not willing to help them? But they're even not asking for money. It's strange. They're just leaving it. They're too proud, I guess. So this computer thing now just hit us, and I guess, is this now a timed thing or what? Hopefully not forever. Oh well, I guess I have to leave it here now. Let's just pause right now. Stock exchange, take care of all of that. And there was one more thing. Since we have 3,000, let's pay the money back. There we go. So at least we're in a little bit of a better position. Let's have a look at our relations. Oh yes, Angola starts to like us again. Some parts of Europe are starting to warm up to us. Not so much in Latin America, but Brazil definitely. And yes, so at least it is starting to go the right direction now. Then we also got Australia back in our stock exchange. We're busy working on nuclear weapons. Since we were so shocked by our bad experiences in the wars that we have decided to ensure that we will not be so vulnerable again. And yes, so I guess the world is never peaceful, so there's always something happening. And now this computer virus has struck us from the Dominican Republic. So what are you guys doing here? I don't know. Somebody invented this thing for some reason, but there we go. So thank you for watching. Hopefully next time we can start planning how we are going to develop beyond this recovery period. And have a fantastic day.